Despite concerns of an unlevel playing field for businesses in the country, the Special Economic Zone Bill provisions to have all businesses accessing the zones once they are established is a win for all. Sharon Anau with the details.
Despite ongoing concerns over a potentially unlevel playing field for businesses, the provision in the Special Economic Zone SEZ Bill that allows all businesses to access the zones once established has been described as a win for all. Former Solomon Islands Chamber of Commerce and Industry SIBC Chair and current Minister for Infrastructure Development, Honourable Ricky Fuo, made the statement in an interview with SIBC TV today. Honourable Fuo acknowledged that the concerns raised by the business community are genuine. However, he emphasized that the country stands to gain more if the SEZ bill is passed and implemented effectively.
But most so importantly, I think what we need to understand now is that the SEZs have invited for everyone. So basically, the locals can participate in those areas and they can invest in it. In terms of unlevel playing field there, that concern is a genuine concern. However, like our private sector can also invest in these areas. The concern of an unlevel playing field, I'm not really big now of that because if I would like compete with that industry, which I can't. So the main purpose of this is, so the government is moving towards, we're trying to move towards more decentralizing some of the services, some of the industries, because right now, as you're aware, everything's centered here on Yarnuma, which kind of, it's understandable because all the infrastructures are here. So that's the purpose of that, is so that make them attractive there, so that some fall a lot in here, or businesses here, so go invest there. And most importantly, create jobs for people who reside in the provinces here, so that it means limiting the rural-urban migration. In terms of the private-public partnership, it may like looking to or businesses, the government will be creating incentives for these businesses, like for example, tax credits, where also help build some infrastructure and that gets accredited to their tax and stuff like that. So I think the unleveling playing field is no really big issue. Whereas if you may let them know more direct investors come in this direct number, they can invest anywhere, then that's the biggest concern. Because then about compete now with the small boys who stay around that area. But if you designate him a certain area number for what come in, that's for that industry, like for manufacturing, or certain area number for tourism, also so I believe that it should be okay for in a project. And it also gives an opportunity for the private sector to for going invest in these places.
In addressing the issue of enforcement and transparency within the SEZs, Honourable Fuo assured that the necessary support will be provided to the relevant regulatory bodies.
As we all know, enforcement in this country is a big issue, but it's something that I believe that we are slowly working on improving. Like we mentioned before, so these zones are going to be controlled by the customs. So they look after, apart from the authority, the customs look after like what comes in, what goes out, enforcement and all that. So I think with these specific zones, the government is committed to ensuring that by put a little bit resources more customs for collecting. And not only that, but the revenue that's going to be earned from these zones will also help us beef up our control and our enforcement. But yeah, that's a very genuine question. And let me tell him earlier, once this roll out, by me looking at flaws, what ways when we can improve and all of that. So I have really hope for this bill because we want to graduate out of the LDC and we need to beef up our revenue, income and all of that to help with our government service deliveries. And so immediately for start.
Honourable Fuo added as the Minister of MID, his ministry stands ready to support the implementation of the bill in terms of needed infrastructure.
This SEZ will be focusing on mainly places where infrastructure is already in place. So that in primarily, Ludana by we start. Then we slowly roll out and slowly the Ministry of Infrastructure will slowly redirect them investments blame where next place where I would like starting. But all of these SEZs will be operating in places that have the basic essential services or infrastructures already in place. So which a lot of our headquarters or provincial capitals, they already have the necessary infrastructures on it. But I'm hard for me start no me do SEZ lo renbel or lo temo tu it won't work, because that will take a lot of infrastructure to build all those things. So I think, as my fellow colleagues have stated, we're going to start now at the place where the necessary infrastructures are already in place. And where there is gaps, that's where the PPP comes in. And I hope the government will, I believe the government will be creating incentives too for boosting up that one.
Sharon Nanal, SIBC TV.